Okay, I want to say something that I think should be fundamental to your worldview about how you get money in life. And I think for some people this is blatantly obvious, but I think for some people this is actually almost an earth-shattering reframe of how you view the world. But businesses do not exist for you to have a job or for you to have a career or for you to earn money. You should understand that the primary purpose of a business, of any business, is to make money. Generally, business does that by delivering a product or a service and creates profit for the owner, but it's just sort of a secondary effect that often jobs are created that help people live. They earn money through the job. But almost in every situation where a business exists, if they can eliminate a job doing something by revising the process or having a machine do it, if it saves them money, they will do that.
He's so spot on. A lot of us have come to the understanding somewhere along the line that when a company gives you a job, especially when you work at that job for a period of time, then some kind of way they have the social contract to take care of you forever. But when you think about it, businesses go into business to make a profit. Needing people to help them make that profit is a byproduct. When you can come to the realization of what he's saying to be true, the better off you'll be, especially in these times when change is coming more and more often and it's allowing businesses to become more efficient. I see people wanting to hold on to the past, saying, hey, you owe me, you owe me, you owe me. And unless you have some type of contract, a pension saying that, hey, we're going to take care of you. If you do this, we're going to do this over a period of time. Check out the video here that we did discussing retirement for Gen X and the father of the 401k. Long and short, Gen X wasn't educated about the different financial products. Fast forward, a lot of you younger folks, you guys are more aware of the equities and things of that nature, but you do so from a gamification, a gambling, if you will, a dopamine hit, and not really based on principles such as owning assets and being diversified, i.e. home ownership. A lot of you guys are poo-pooing it because from your standpoint, in my opinion, it's like these jobs aren't paying us what we need to be paid to make a certain dollar amount. And at the end of the day, you just aren't adding the value in the marketplace and you're slowly being replaced. Just want to bring an eye opener, not something salacious, to see if you guys can relax, get out of your emotions and really think, because we got to start thinking. We're a community. We got to start thinking about, okay, what does work look like? Because I can imagine when the U.S. went from farming, with manual labor to machines, tractors, there was a disruption, no doubt. And I'm not talking about slavery, right? That's a different topic. I'm just saying in general, from farming, where you needed more manual labor, to machines, okay? And then from the factories where you needed a lot of people, and then they coming with the assembly line. Those are similar events to what's happening now. So when you're in that time and space, I understand it's hard to see and think, okay, what can we do different to make money or to take care of ourselves? That's the conversation that we need to have, and we don't need to be derailed and distracted by food stamps and the government shutdown and all those things. We got to pay attention, get some understanding. So get down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about what was just said. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Robert, and on this channel, we simplify the home loan process.
So many companies, especially the big like Fortune 500 companies, will talk about career path and they'll talk about work-life balance, and HR will say a lot of fluffy things. But you really should understand in your mind that companies do not exist to give you a job or to give you a career path. It's just a secondary effect. It's like a secondary consequence of whatever it is they need to do to make money. And if you really think about that, it is not a good or bad thing. It is what it is. And if you reframe your understanding of the world knowing this, it should change how you approach making money and who and what you depend on. And one of the best piece of advice I could give to anyone that wants to have a better understanding of the world is start some sort of business on your own to see things from the other side. Imagine you can often bring it back to the simplest thing, like creating a lemonade stand. If you created a lemonade stand and you started to get a lot of customers, at some point you might hire the kid down the block to help you run your lemonade stand. But if prices increase for lemons and you can only sell lemonade at a certain price, like maybe you start to realize, I can't make money doing this and employ the kid down the street. So at some point you're going to either have to quit your lemonade stand, or maybe you have to tell the kid, like, I can't do this, it doesn't work. Why would you go bankrupt, go into debt and borrow money to pay this kid if you're not making money? Like, business exists to make a profit, and jobs are only a secondary consequence of that. So understand that and let that frame how you live your life and how you plan to get money going forward. So hope this is helpful.
He hit on some major key points there that I just want to unpack briefly. Not only do we need to bring back how to manage money starting in junior high and high school from the standpoint of just how money works, meaning go back to a tactile system or associate the digital system to your actual personal being. Meaning, if I get this many digits and I have to take care of this many things, I have to balance my budget. I have to learn how to define what a need and a want is. And if I don't do so, then I'm going to run a deficit. From that standpoint, we can then deal with the macro, but it's going to take some time. But we got to start somewhere. Junior high, high school, budgeting for real, and have a real world consequence, lunch, whatever. If you don't manage these digits properly throughout your cycle, whatever the cycle is, then it has real world ramifications. You can't eat lunch or something. And so ultimately, when we get enough of those educated people to go into the system, i.e. the government, the elected representatives, you don't have the mindset of people that are like a lot of employees. Let me hurry up and get into a position where the folks that are funding me don't understand how it works, and they want to pass on their responsibility to me to take care of them. Whole time, I'm just a big parasite, a big leech. I don't have to be held accountable for what I'm doing or what I've done, and I'm closer to the money spigot. So the trickle down doesn't get down to the people that's funding the system. Not only that, I know all of the advances. I have the insider trading going on. And so I get here poor. Okay. I leave rich just because money follows the attention. And I know about the attention before anybody else does. I have a moat. I have a unfair competitive advantage. And it's disguised in the fact that I'm here to help you and you put me here. And this couldn't be more evident than with this government shutdown, that the people that you guys put there to represent you, they get paid and you don't. You see what I'm saying? Secondly, in that maturation from junior high up, you got to run a business. Those digits that I just spoke about, they don't just appear. They don't just manifest. And the government, all of us are going to say, okay, this is your talent. This is your skill. This is how you produce value in this community, in this marketplace. And these are the things that this is the seed money. Now you have to make it grow. Oh, and you have some competition. And I guarantee you'll change the mindset of people thinking that this money just comes, and because I'm an American or I'm this color or whatever you want to say, you want to affiliate yourself with, and that you are entitled to some types of benefits. And that's, in my opinion, where the problem lies. When I ask you to point out the problem, this is not pointing out the problem. You gave Ukraine $40 billion and you gave Venezuela $40 billion. When you dig into that, really think about it, there's something that they're going to get from Ukraine and Venezuela that benefits them. Okay. What are they getting from you? And I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, but again, these are the people that you all vote to go and represent. And this is the way the system is set up. So you can't just throw up your hands. The Lord's coming. The Lord's coming. But if you read the scriptures, a whole lot more of this is going to have to happen. It's going to have to get worse before he comes. That's my understanding if you're really studying. And so we're in it. And while you're in it, how can you make the best? How can you make lemonade out of lemons without losing your soul? That's what I'm saying. I digress. When you make people accountable for what their actions are and their productivity based upon their service that they provide in the marketplace, then you won't have all of this deficit because people will have learned how to balance their books. When you are the one that took the risk to make the business, right? And you're looking to make a profit. That's really the only thing I want you guys to get out of this video. They're in business to make a profit, period. And you, me, us, anyone that's an employee is a means to that end. And as soon as you open up your business and a machine comes, as he mentioned, the lemonade business, a machine comes and displaces all of the little cute kiddos and you don't need them anymore because that machine does it more efficiently, makes great lemonade and allows your profit margin to increase. You're telling me you're going to continue to pay those kids because they're kids here in America? Or are you going to do the same thing? So what we have to do is learn where the problems are, what the technology is going to displace, and then figure out new ways to be more productive as humans and not sit around and look for someone to take care of you.
So there's been a government shutdown, and when you talk to most people and tell them you shouldn't rely 100% on a job for your livelihood, most people kind of think you crazy for that. I don't have the time for something on the side. My job is secure. I work for the government. I work for the city, like all of these things that you hear from people. But look at this mass amount of people that's losing jobs. And I'm not just talking about the government jobs, just in general. And so we got to start thinking about doing something outside of our job to guarantee that we have income that's coming in, regardless of what the economy is actually doing. Be creative, do something new, learn a new skill, do something productive, do something that's going to change other people's lives as well as it changes yours. Sometimes you're going to have to put the energy and effort into something to yield some results just to protect your family. You're not going to know everything up front. You're not going to be perfect with this business, but you will be able to see the results if you endure in the process. Let me tell you something. Entrepreneurship is not easy every day. Every day you're going to have to put in some work, learn some new skill sets, things like that. But I promise you, if you ever lose your job, you can always depend on your skill set. You can always depend on your business.
So what are you saying, Robert? No one is supposed to be an employee? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you go to work and have a business mindset, meaning you understand that every time you get paid, that contract for that week or whatever that pay cycle was completed. If you think from that standpoint, should really evaluate yourself to see if you really earn said income. Amazon is talking about getting rid of 500,000 to 600,000 employees. To be honest with you, those are probably bodies that they needed at that time that really weren't efficient. And now they have the robotics along with people to make them more efficient and more profitable. So starting a separate or multiple streams, if you will, on the side is something that benefits you. And I know you'll have the detractors, the people in the bleachers. Oh, it's not all about work and I just want to be on vacation. Again, these are these folks that have come up couple, 2, 3 generations and been leeches and playing 3-card money. And now that the tide has gone out and we see who's been working and who's been riding, that's a problem. So we have to start now, today, right where you are, with the young folks and with you. If you're of age and you're watching this and you're nervous, you got to start a business. You got to take the skill set, hopefully, that you've obtained while you've been at these places and you just hadn't been there existing, stealing a check, but you've been adding value and learning what the business is, and then figure out ways to take those skill sets and bring them into the marketplace. I don't talk about anything that I'm not doing. Okay. And if you've watched me, those of you on the channel, just go back to May and April of this year. I said, you know what? I see everything that's going on. I see these folks on YouTube, and let me dig into the business of YouTube and how it really works. And it really just blew my mind, because a lot of folks are just gaslighting you. There's really not a lot of substance in what's put online on any of these platforms. But that's because the population of people love garbage. It's just like fast food. I'm trying to break myself off of this sugar. I get it. You're addicted. It's called dopamine, regardless of what form or fashion it comes in. But anyway, I got off my high horse and said, you know what? I don't have to preach you. Just go look in the channel. Go back to, because I've been putting videos up for 6-7 years. And when I was going in and really teaching on loan products and how to help people, man, them videos got 50, 60 views. But once I understood the business, paid some money for some consultants and things of that nature, they said, no, you got it all wrong. You have to, in essence, you have to speak to the people where they are. And then the ones that you're supposed to deal with, they'll come to you. I'm giving you advice on what works. Like the lady is saying here in the video, it's going to take some work. It's going to take some understanding. You can't just show up and throw up. This takes work. You feel me? But you can't sit around and talk about what you did in high school. A lot of folks peaked in high school. Man, I was this, I was that, I was that. What are you doing right now? Because things are changing, and they're changing quickly. So you have to get into business. Everybody's at a pivot point. In these videos, I'm expressing to you the importance of diversification, not only in the equities, home ownership or hard assets. Okay, got to start somewhere. I've said it for years. This is the new corporate office. You got to have your own home. You need to invest. Real estate investment trust. You need to learn how to invest and not gamble. There's a lot of gambling going on. And cryptocurrency, if you don't understand it, it's just like the lottery, because you don't put the time and effort into learning the system. That's my point. Once you learn these skills and understand how to do business, then you don't have this effect that a lot of folks have, like with the food stamps. I'm not gonna get my food stamps, so I'm gonna rob, kill, and steal. Well, see, that was what was in you to begin with. You're a thief. And when thieves don't get what they want, that's how they respond. You shall know them by the fruits that they bear. But it ain't everybody. It ain't everybody. So those of you out there that have an ear to hear, understand if this medium is something that you can do, especially if you've been somewhere providing value. Just look in the description. I got a whole list of tools that you can use, and you can start where you are. If you are on a W-2 and you're in business, you're in partnership, and that business decides to take a different direction and you're not a part of those plans, you don't feel like the sky is falling, because you've been preparing and you have multiple streams of income.
Hey, if you're a government worker and you worry about the shutdown that just started today, I want to give you some tips that can help you ride this wave. We don't know how long this is going to last, but this is something you need to take care of today and make it a priority. Step number 1, you need to just focus on your essentials. And that is your housing, food, your utilities, and your transportation. That's it. Anything else is secondary. Tip number 2, I want you to review your emergency fund if you have one. I want you to calculate how many weeks you have only for your essentials. Do not include anything else. I want you to focus only on covering the essentials and see how much you have. Tip number 3, call your mortgage company, your utility, or your landlord. Many lenders and utility companies will have special programs to help federal employees that have been furloughed. Tip number 4, pause any discretionary spending immediately. I'm talking about eating out, shopping, subscriptions, travel, anything that you have coming up or that are not part of your essentials. You need to stop them right now. This is temporary, but you need to get a hold of it today and not let it drag on and incur any additional costs. Tip number 5, if your state allows, some states have programs that you can file for unemployment. Some furloughed federal employees are allowed to collect unemployment. Make sure you check your state laws to see if it applies to you. Tip number 6, track every dollar closely. Use a budgeting spreadsheet, an app, a notebook, whatever it is that you have. Know exactly where your money is going. Tip number 7, delay any non-essential debt payment. Right now, you must prioritize secure debt, your mortgage, your car payment over any credit card, personal loan, or any other revolving debt that you may have. If you have credit card debt, personal loans, and any other type of revolving debt, make sure you call your lender today and ask them for what programs they have available to assist with the current federal government shutdown. Most of these creditors have programs in places to help you. You have to ask. They're not going to come out and offer it to you. You have to call them and ask. You have to be proactive. The next tip I have for you is plan for a back pay, but don't rely on it. Most past shutdowns have included back pay, but it needs to be signed into law. Treat it as if it's possible that you're going to get it, but don't rely on it 100%. And if you do get it, when you get your lump sum, make sure that you pay back any debt you have, or if there's been a delay in your payment, make sure that you catch up with that. Don't wait until tomorrow to try to figure this out. This needs to be figured out today. You don't know how long this shutdown is going to last. So make sure you're proactive, make sure you're taking care of your finances, make sure that you're up to date on what's going on. As of right now, you cannot rely on having your next paycheck. So make sure that you plan accordingly. If the shutdown gets lifted, fantastic, we survived. If not, then at least you have a game plan to where to start. Make sure you take care of yourself.
So she just performed right before your eyes everything that we've been talking about. She understands or recognizes the problem. She provided a solution on one of these social media platforms, and she has a way to create money. Where the value and attention flows, that's where the money goes. Build your foundation through ownership. When you rent, you're building someone else's net worth. When you buy, all the payments are being built towards the equity for you so that you can tap into those equities later or rent it out and have those monies come into your bank. Add income streams that fit your lifestyle. You want to protect your cash flow. Learn to live beneath your means. When you get a raise, don't let lifestyle creep eat up all of that money for right now, because your future self will appreciate it. Get a emergency fund, minimum 3 months, but the more the better, because life is going to life. Something's going to happen. You don't have to do everything at once. You just got to start somewhere. Pick that somewhere to start and move forward. The first business you should ever own is your home. It's the hedge that you have against rent hikes. It's your anchor when your job changes, and it's your springboard for everything else. When you own, you decide when to pivot. If you're ready to stop renting and ready to build that foundation, schedule a consultation call to see if, number one, if we're a fit, but number two, what your options are. There you have it. My time is up, but I thank you for yours. Let us be good to one another. Let us let grace abound. Watch these videos here. And until the next time, indeed, y'all stay blessed.